All right, next subject, heat stress. We are moving into the warmer months. I know you guys know how to usually deal with this stuff, but this is going to be a targeted area for OSHA this year, so we wanted to make sure that we cover it with you guys. Everybody in this room probably knows what heat stress is, okay? But there are some things that can occur with heat stress that maybe you guys aren't familiar with, all right? So heat stress occurs when the body can't get rid of excess heat. Everybody knows in here probably that you sweat because your body is trying to cool itself down. Eventually, if you're dehydrated, you'll run out of sweat to cool yourself down. So if not addressed quickly, heat stress can result in heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, and heat rashes. So the first two things are heat rashes and heat cramps that I want to talk to you guys about, because this is the number one sign that starts to show before heat exhaustion and heat stroke happen, right? This is what heat rash looks like. It just kind of looks like a red blistery rash. Usually occurs in high friction areas or high sweat areas, waistband, armpits, inside your elbows, inside the back of the knees, those areas, you guys will see that. Heat cramps are obviously cramps, and they occur because of the dehydration, and they're usually pretty painful. If you guys have ever suffered a cramp in sports or playing football on the weekend with your friends, whatever it may be, it's a little bit different. Heat cramps are usually a little bit more painful, and they really only occur in the abdomen. So what is heat exhaustion? So you got heat rash, you got heat cramps coming on, you completely ignore them, you just carry on through your day. This is when heat exhaustion can start to sit in if you do not address those problems before. The signs are dizziness and fainting, that's pretty common, excessive sweating, rapid and weak pulse, and these are the two things I really want to highlight, the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion, you'll have cool, pale, clammy skin. Okay, so that clamminess where your hands feel cold, they get a little sweaty, and muscle cramps start to sit in. All right. Now there's a little bit of a difference once you move on to heat stroke and heat exhaustion. I'll go over that here in a minute. But what do we do if you are suffering from heat exhaustion? Move the person to shade or a cold room. Okay. If there's a job site trailer or the foreman's truck, if you can start it up and turn the AC on full blast. Or if you can get them into a shade and you have a portable fan, whatever it may be, get them into a shaded or cooler area from where they are working from. If available, go grab a cold water out of the cooler, if you guys have one on the job site, and douse some rags. You can put those rags on the back of the neck, on the chest, on the forehead. This will help cool the person down. Have them drink chilled water, not ice cold, not chunks of ice, anything like that. You don't want to do that, it can shock the system. So just chilled water or a low sugar sports drink. Gatorade's good to get those electrolytes back in their system. But if at any point the person loses consciousness, call 911. All right, you ignored everything I just said, and now you're even in worse condition. This is when heat stroke is the same thing. Okay, heat stroke is a little bit different, and it does have some serious side effects. Heat stroke is what occurs when the heat exhaustion is not treated. Heat stroke has zero sweating, all right? Your body is completely dried out. You have no liquids left. Your body cannot self-cool. At this point, your skin is no longer clammy. It's no longer sweaty. It's no longer pale or cool to the touch. It is getting red, hot, and your skin is dry, okay? They will lose consciousness at some point, more than likely, if not treated. And at this point in time, once your body starts shutting down, you can have seizures. Even if you have no history of seizures before, I've seen it happen. I've been on a couple jobs where a person had a heat stroke, and it's almost inevitable that the person has seizures. Call 911 immediately. Do not hesitate. If you see a person passing out or having seizures from this, call 911 immediately. Move the person again to shade, a cool job site trailer, the foreman's truck with AC on full blast, whatever you can do. Again, cold water rags are really good. We don't want to shock their body by taking like ice packs or filling up a bag of ice and just sticking it on the back of their neck or their forehead. That's why I like to say cool rags instead, because they usually will warm up a little bit quicker than an ice pack would help. Attempt to have them drink water. Not ice cold, not chilled, just water. Okay? Even, it sounds silly, but warm water is better than cold water or ice cold water or chilled water, because you need to rehydrate their system, not shock it. All right? Slow, small amounts. You You also don't want to shock your system by filling up their belly with water. Okay? Talk to the person. Just keep them talking. If they are conscious, it's good to keep talking to them. Once 911 has been called, you're taking care of the person. You can have, if there's more than you and just that person there, have another employee call the safety manager, the superintendent or project manager to inform them of what's going on. This dials back to what Nicole was just talking about with injury reporting, okay? You guys know this, but I need to preach it to you guys because a lot of people are hard-headed. I know I am. I get outside working in my yard, or I'm doing side work at my wife's company on the weekends, and I just ignore it. But it's important to drink water, guys. I cannot stress this to you guys enough. Get a big water bottle. Take a cooler with you every single day. If you guys are going to drink Gatorade, Powerade, whatever your favorite sports drink is, that's fine. Balance it out with water. Electrolytes are good, but there are a lot of sugars in those Powerade and Gatorade drinks. Make sure you're balancing out with water. Avoid caffeine. I know it's hard. I'm a huge coffee drinker. If you guys ever see me in the mornings, I usually have a large coffee in my hand at your job sites. I get it. But pounding Ghost energy drinks and Bangs and Monsters throughout the day is not good when we're in 92-degree heat. Caffeine is actually a larger dehydrator than alcohol is, so in large amounts. But just keep that in mind. Throw some towels or rags in the cooler. If you guys have a job site cooler or you have your own personal cooler, take 2 rags, throw them in the cooler with your ice packs. Again, this reverts back to that heat exhaustion and heat stress. They're good to use. Wear light, non-tight fitting clothing. Okay. Obviously, you guys know not to wear heavy hoodies and stuff like that in the summertime. But just keep it in mind wearing looser clothing in the summertime. Also, any type of moisture wicking clothing is really good if you own it. If there's a shaded area, kind of designate that area for a cool-down spot. During your breaks, don't stay on the roof in the direct sun. If you get down for your breaks and your lunch, go sit in a shaded, cool area. If a shaded area is not found on this job site, pop-up tents can be provided for heat relief. All right, so this is something that I believe Nicole and Trevor want to put into place for this summer. And we're going to be doing it. So pop-up tents will be available when there's no shade available from trees, overhangs, things like that for you guys to rest in. We want to make sure you guys are cooling down on your breaks and lunch. All right, and avoid areas of direct sunlight and things that can absorb heat. Obviously, just don't go plant your butt on an asphalt parking lot during your lunch for 30 minutes or whatever. Avoid heat and heat absorbing